The last question we're going to address about the competitive firm is, when will the competitive firm just produce 0 units of output? Remember, the competitive firm, any firm, can't exit in the short run, but sometimes there are situations where a firm will just decide, I'm not going to produce any output, I'm stuck here, I got some fixed costs that I got to pay, but it's going to turn out to be my best play, my best decision to produce 0 units of output. Well, when is that going to happen? Well, it turns out that's going to happen if profits, or if operating profits are less than the negative of the total fixed costs, then shut down. Now, where does this come from? Well, remember that profits are total revenue minus total cost, and by shutting down, your total revenue is 0, your total costs are just your fixed costs. 0 minus your fixed cost is the negative of your total fixed costs. If you're going to do worse than that by operating, then shut down. Simple as that. It's going to turn out that we can manipulate this shutdown rule to identify the shutdown condition in the context of our usual firm short-run problem analysis. Let me just show you how to do that. And again, if you have information, numerical information, it's easy to calculate profits, and if they're less than the fixed costs, well then shut down. You don't need any graphs to get there, and that will always be good enough on these types of problems where you have numerical data. But it's often we don't have numerical data, and we want to talk about conceptually when the shutdown point, when a firm would shut down. With a little, get an equivalent shutdown rule in a form that will be useful in our usual graphical representation. Now, I'm never going to ask you to do this, but if you're interested, let me show you. If you're not, hopefully you can fast forward through this. Anyway, remember our shutdown condition. Shut down if profits are less than the loss of your total fixed costs. Well, that's, profits are going to equal total revenue minus total cost. And if that's less than the total fixed cost, the loss of your total fixed cost, the negative of your total fixed cost, well, then shut down. All right, well, we can manipulate that a little bit more. I'm just going to add total cost to both sides. Shut down if your total revenues are less than total costs minus total fixed cost. Oh, wait, total cost minus total fixed cost. Shut down if your total revenue is less than total variable costs. And actually, there's some intuitive sense in that, right? If by operating and bringing in revenues, you can't even cover the variable costs of producing that much output, well, then you're better off shutting down. So actually, this is a very intuitive rule. If we just divide both sides of that expression, I'll remember that total revenue is price times quantity. So I'll just show that step. If we divide both sides of this by quantity, we're left with shut down if price is less than total talking and writing at the same time. Shut down if price is less than average variable cost, because total variable cost divided by quantity is the same as average variable cost. So that's our shutdown rule. And this is our shutdown rule too. This is another way to say it. It makes the most intuitive sense probably. But this one has the advantage of being able to show this condition in our usual graphical framework. And here it is graphically. Just to show you, remember, price is always equal to marginal cost. That's just the output rule for a profit maximizing firm. Well, where price is also equal to average variable cost is right there. We'll call that the shutdown price. Operate if prices makes it to the shutdown price or above, but otherwise shut down. You're better off producing zero. By the way, this is, just to remind you from last screencast, this is what we call the break-even price. That's where the firm is earning zero profits. Anyway, now notice we've derived the competitive firm's supply curve. I'm going to change colors. Let's have it be green. Notice that at prices below the shutdown price, the firm's going to produce zero. But then once the price is above the shutdown price, equal to, greater than or equal to, the firm's going to produce where quantity is equal to, where price is equal to marginal cost. Well, that means the supply curve is this green function. It's the marginal cost curve above the shutdown price, and that's, you know, we've been using that all along. I've waved my hands at it, but now we've derived that officially. Woohoo! So celebrate.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.